Hello, leader. Can you believe it? We're coming to an end of another year of making an impact, making mistakes, making big decisions, some new friends, new paths forward for growth, making some new job offers, making some bold moves, some new connections that matter, hopefully making some memories, and making a difference in our communities. And that's what's giving me pause today to take time for reflection. Think about what's been important so that we can make room for what's coming up next. I've titled this episode Gratitude, Growth, and Goodbyes, a year-end reflection and a holiday thanks, because, well, that's exactly what it's about today. Some wonderful things have happened this past year, and some terrible stuff has happened too. But hey, that's life. I'm sure you've got some similar experiences this past year too. My goal is that today I will inspire you to compile your own year of reflection. Now, you might not have a podcast, but you likely do have social media. So why not take the leap and share with us what your gratitude, growth, and goodbyes have been for this past year? Tag me. I would love to hear about your year. Now, if you're not someone who uses social media in that way, it's worth it to capture your year in a journal of sorts. And your team would likely appreciate a year-end email or even a chat in a team meeting about your reflections of this past year. You know, beyond the KPIs, more of a personal share about what you learned about yourself as a leader. It could spark a great conversation that runs right through your team. So let's get ready to clear this past year, take with us the important stuff, and then start fresh for the next year by acknowledging how far we've come and where we're going, because we're better together. Welcome to the Stacking Your Team podcast. This podcast is for anyone looking to strengthen their leadership skills and build a high-performing team. I'm your host, Shelli Warren. Leading people can be tough, but it's a skill we can all continue to develop. You already know that whether your workplace is big or small, people are your greatest asset and often your largest expense. That's why you take your role seriously and want to keep growing as a leader. You'll find that each episode is designed to provide practical solutions that you can apply immediately. So let's dive into today's episode with a couple of quick reminders. No one escapes team troubles, including me. And the team that got you here may not be the team that will get you there. Oh my goodness, what a year. It's been full of challenges, triumphs, worries, disappointments, tears, moments of sheer happiness, moments of sheer terror, and a bit of excitement too. Let me start with appreciating all of you who tune into the podcast. You know, Russell Brunson recently shared on Instagram, and I'm quoting here, he said, "It might seem odd to say, but listening to podcasts have helped me become a better version of myself. Seriously, 100%. He also said that statistics show podcast listeners are more educated and successful. You know, I believe that, 100%. Here's why. Deciding to dive deeper into a topic that interests you, beyond a quick YouTube short and a TikTok video, you're carving out dedicated time to immerse yourself in learning something new and relevant to your personal and professional growth. It's a testament to both your intelligence and humility. It shows you're wise enough to seek knowledge and open-minded enough to acknowledge there's always more to discover, to satisfy your curiosity, answer your questions, and expand your interests. So it makes me smile to think about you deciding to limit your screen time by tuning into a podcast instead. I picture you doing your daily tasks around your home, driving. Maybe you're on the subway, running errands, or maybe you're out for a jog or doing a workout. I do the same. I start my day with a podcast, and I don't hit the shower without teeing up a show. I have shows running the entire time I'm getting ready and driving into town to my office. We're a lot alike. We want to keep evolving, stay on top of trends, and know what's happening in the world that can impact our business, our clients, and our customers. Now, some of you tell me that you've been with me since the very first episode that aired almost 7 years ago. Others tell me that you've left the show for a bit, then came back when you had a bigger team and a bigger business. Some of you use the podcast as a teaching tool for your team. Everyone listens on their own, and then you come together as a set team meeting topic each week to talk about it. Oh my gosh, I just love that. Some of you don't have a business at all. You work at a company. And when you're tackling a key problem, you scroll through the episode listings in your app or on our website, using it like a library, thumbing through the topics. And when you see the perfect one, you grab it and hit play. You know, I've always considered the episodes a big part of my body of work that I've created all these years. As much as it sounds corny, it really is a labor of love to write and record them. And one of my favorite things is to meet listeners, either in real life or online. It's so fun to get to know you. I'm so grateful to each of you who make up this show's audience. Although the branding has changed over the years, the quality of content has not. In the new year, you can expect even more juicy topics to be shared. And of course, I'll be bringing more clients on to share their leadership journeys with us too. And here's some fun facts. We've surpassed well over 500,000 downloads now, and the US continues to have the largest number of listeners right across that country. Canada follows in a close second. Specifically, the mighty province of Ontario has the largest number of listeners. Then there's a breakdown of various countries overseas. And it's fun to think about all of you out there tuning in. In keeping with the gratitude mindset, let me give a big warm hug to all of my clients. My current clients, former clients, boomerang clients, new clients, and of course, those clients that we haven't met yet, but you and I know we're going to meet very soon. It's all of you who inspire me to keep working every day. You know, I'll be 63 in January, and each of you reinforce that I love what I get to do, and I want to keep doing it. It's all about having a chance to play a role in helping you overcome your troubles and being there to witness you celebrate your triumphs. And did you know that it's my clients who spark every podcast episode, every social media post, every new tool or framework that I create, and every new bit of training curriculum I teach? It's true. It's all about my clients and their team members. You know, a few years ago, I decided to pour into the people who make up those small and mighty leadership teams that we create for our one-to-one and Leadership Lab clients. After all, having a leadership team is the answer to how the CEO can get out of the daily operations and stay out. It sounds simple, but it takes some planning, selecting the right people, and then supporting them as they begin to lead people, processes, and profit centers. And it's been fantastic to see the people who are incredible individual contributors step into their new role. Sometimes it's a hybrid role of bringing in revenue and providing leadership. But essentially, they're now getting paid to oversee and impact the success of a group of people. It's not about them anymore. It's about the collective talent and capacity the team has now under their leadership. And for many of my clients, they've not had a lot of experience in leading people. That's why they're thirsty for my coaching and tools. I'm so grateful to witness the transformation of the CEOs and their leadership team members who work to maintain alignment in everything they do, while also giving each other space to take ownership and develop even more mastery for themselves in the business. There's a real collaborative vibe to this style of leadership, and my clients tell me it's a game changer. They feel so supported, and they feel less stressed out because they have some solid leadership team members who have stepped up to carry some of the weight of growing the business and the team. And there's been a shift this past year. My one-to-one clients have chosen to leverage their leadership team members in a new way. They often bring them to our one-to-one sessions, or I host sessions with the leadership team members themselves. This approach is unique, custom, and super impactful. It's impacting the retention of their most valuable team members, saving time, and boosting the trust and admiration of each other's skills. It's also elevating the confidence of those leadership team members to be more prepared to lead without their CEO holding their hand. Inside the Leadership Lab, that's my 6-month small group coaching program, not only do the CEOs receive my signature tools, coaching, and training, but their team members do too. It's wonderful to watch those team members lean into learning how to become a more effective leader amongst a whole group of people that they would never have had the chance to even meet. And it's been a game changer for me to build a relationship with them as an extension of the relationship I have with their CEO. Hey, if you're listening to this episode in real time, we're heading into a brand new year, and it's the perfect time to decide to do things differently and get some high-touch support for you and your team. Watch your calendar get freed up. Watch your team take ownership for activities and results. Watch your team stop needing you to hold their hands. Watch your team solve their own problems. Watch your team earn their paycheck, and watch your team be happy about what they do. We all know that being a leader can be challenging, but it can be easier when you put yourself first. Ask for help, get quality help, and then apply it. I'm here to help you build a small but mighty leadership team that will run your operations without you. Just think about how much more energy you'll have to focus on other important things, including your family and friends, when you're not so tightly tethered to your business's day-to-day operations. We're welcoming new members into the Leadership Lab right now, and I have a few spots available for private one-to-one coaching too. And yes, it's true, your team also gets training and coaching from me. Apply directly today from the Stack Your Team website or the link in the show notes. You really are ready for this. Okay, let's get back to the show. This past year, I said goodbye to some clients, and that's always difficult. You see, most of my clients join me for 6 months and then stay longer. It's common for us to work together for more than 2 years because that consistent interaction, coupled with our in-person retreats, ensures we build a solid working relationship together. They love my done with you approach to applying my signature tools. They don't have to figure any of this out alone, and everything I have can easily be plugged into their business, and I'm here to help them do it. So when it's time for that CEO to move on, it's with mixed emotions. I'm thrilled for them to go forward with all of their accomplishments and transformations that they've made within themselves and their team and how they run their business, for sure. And it's hard to let them go. Their peers miss them too. Yet, isn't that what life's all about? And thank heaven for the podcast and social media, because we can still stay connected and I can watch them and their team in action online. It's always a nice surprise to see them book a strategy session later with me or join a live workshop for a refresher and a quick connection. Truly, these people are incredible and making important things happen around them for their chosen niche and customer and client base. So saying goodbye is tough, but I know we will be back in each other's lives again. I trust that I will see them at an event or that they'll boomerang back into my circle one more time. Another tough moment this past year for me was discovering that I had breast cancer. It was both awful and humbling, and it was filled with a huge dose of luck. You see, an X-ray technician found it during a routine exam, so she caught it early. I was able to get an immediate ultrasound only moments after she found it. Then it was a biopsy the very next week, and the results came in the following week. It all happened so quickly. Now, it certainly wasn't fun to get the call confirming that it was breast cancer, but I was grateful to get in for surgery within another few weeks at my local hospital. And as luck would have it, a childhood friend of mine was working that day and took extra great care of me. And of course, Danielle was incredibly caring during all of this too. And because we caught it early, it hadn't migrated into my lymph nodes, so I didn't require chemotherapy. Now, I did need radiation, and I chose to book a hotel for 5 days during those treatments, as it was at another hospital that has a huge cancer and radiation center. And lucky me, one of my dearest friends lives in that city, so we were able to see each other every night for dinner. And I chose a hotel that had a balcony overlooking Lake Ontario that I could work from during the day. I also had a renowned doctor who was very helpful and encouraged me to participate in trials that would monitor my case over the years. She also recommended a radiation specialist who was aligned with the standard 5 days of treatment instead of the maximum 15. Now, I'm on hormone therapy for a good 5 years with frequent breast screening exams, but hey, I truly do feel so lucky. You see, I lost a cousin to breast cancer when she was only 42, leaving 2 young children and a husband. It was awful. At the time I was diagnosed, another dear friend of mine was also diagnosed, and her journey has been hell. She's not been able to run her business. She actually sold it. But that was a blessing in disguise, as I'm sure that she will return to it in some capacity to support those new owners. She has been a trooper. I'm in awe of how she's handled all of this. And she likes to tell me, Shelli, your cancer, it's so boring. It's true. It has been boring compared to hers and others who I know who've had challenging months, sometimes years of cancer treatments and protocols. Finding out that I had cancer was not on my bingo card for this year, and you can imagine it gave me a lot to think about. So I started waving goodbye to habits, people, social media, and anything else that wasn't adding value to my life. Now, I am someone who takes obligations very seriously, but suddenly having breast cancer, on top of finding out the year before that I'm type 2 diabetic with high blood pressure, forced me to think critically about eliminating muck from my life. I started saying no more often, started reducing my hours of work, and started streamlining the business. You may have noticed that for the very first time in almost 7 years of podcasting, that I purposely did not air episodes during key holidays. Oh my goodness, that was a very big deal for me and my team. You also likely saw a very different presence on social media. I now have a local team member who creates content and brilliantly packages it and presents it. This has been such a great experience, not only in getting to know her and her capabilities, but also in getting my time back and not having to feel bad about not being able to show up on camera for social media. I'm also enjoying having a local team member to support me and collaborate with. You see, my biggest goal was to not have my health impact my ability to care for clients. And it didn't. Of course, once I was through my treatments, I did tell them about my cancer, and they were all so supportive and surprised. That's exactly what I'd hoped for. Nobody felt like I'd skipped a beat with them. So you can see the old saying, in the blink of an eye, things can change. That's true. Things can change quickly, for the better or the worse. It's all about how we respond that matters. One new way I responded was to consider launching a second business. Yeah, you heard that right. You see, I have been doing some in-person leadership coaching with people from my local hospital who were searching for unbiased advice on building their careers and increasing their capabilities within their roles. It's been so rewarding to see them shift and lean further into becoming leaders with long-term contributions in their leadership roles. The time had come to formally offer this service and do it upright. So we launched a new brand and a website. It's called Thousand Islands Leadership Consulting. It's so motivating to work with local or near-to-me professionals who want to make a bigger impact at work, get promoted, and live a better life. Being able to navigate a corporate career can be daunting, and coupled with that is trying to juggle the demands of family, friends, and fun. I mean, come on. Burnout is on the rise, and working professionals deserve some quality help to ensure they're being supported to reach their full potential within their careers. Many of them have a lot of drive and want to expand their earning potential, but they don't know how. That's where my 25 plus years working at that Fortune 50 corporation comes in handy. I also have resources to help them get alignment with their employers to pay for this level of support. There's a lot of synergies between coaching these working professionals through the Thousand Islands Leadership Consulting brand and coaching clients within the Stacking Your Team brand. I'm overjoyed that all of the clients that I get to support in both brands have the same thing in common. They all have a desire to expand their leadership capabilities, and they take their roles seriously. All the CEOs, all the leadership team members, and all the corporate leaders are all on a path towards making a bigger impact in their chosen profession. So what's coming up that we can all look forward to? Well, how about this? More in-person events for both businesses. You'll soon be seeing more details about where the Leadership Lab and one-to-one client retreat is this year, and you are going to feel like you're in a Hallmark movie. I am not exaggerating. For the Thousand Islands Leadership Consulting clients, I haven't forgotten about you. I'll be hosting some in-person events for you too. We've got a Stacking Your Team website refresh in the works that will also have more free resources for you there. And I'll be hosting more free online workshops. We've done 3 recently, each with a different topic, so be sure to get on my newsletter list from the show notes or the website so you don't miss out. What else can we expect? More incredible clients to support, more tough topics to talk about on this podcast, more signature tools that are designed to get you out of the day-to-day operations and get your team to be incredibly productive and effective in their leadership roles, more time with family and friends, and more feeling great about what's happening for all of us. It will be my honor to have you stick with me as we walk into this new year full of gratitude for where we've been and where we're all going. We really are better together. I'm wishing you peace and prosperity for you and your family this holiday season. And I'm also here to encourage you to take the time to celebrate in whatever way is meaningful to you by unplugging from business and work, because that's the key to making memories around the holidays. Enjoy every minute. And as I mentioned at the start of this episode, how about compiling your own reflections on this year past and sharing it? Now, you might not have a podcast, but you do have social media. Take the leap and share it with us. Tell us what you're grateful for, how you've grown, and what you've said goodbye to for this past year. Tag me. I'd love to hear about your year. Did you find today's episode helpful? If you did, share it with a friend. Tag us on Instagram, where I'm at Stacking Your Team, or leave us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcast. And hey, did you know that we have resources available to you on our website? Get on over there and check them out. Everything we do at Stacking Your Team is designed to help you strengthen your leadership skills and build a high-performing team. See you next week.